If you're building applications today, you already know that AI isn't just some cool new feature. It's literally the future. But let's be real, getting it right can feel like you're trying to solve a massive puzzle. Which model should you use? Which framework? And how on earth do you build and iterate fast without getting totally bogged down in code? Well, let's talk about how to make that whole process a lot simpler.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dive into the real challenges developers are up against. Then, we'll introduce Langflow, which is a visual tool designed to tackle these exact problems. We'll check out the incredible freedom it gives you, see how it actually works, and then we'll get into some of its most powerful pro-level features.
All right, let's start with the heart of the problem. Building with AI today, it's just not a straight line, is it? It's more like a maze of choices, from the big architectural decisions down to the little tools you use, and every single choice you make can have huge consequences down the road.
I mean, right from the get-go, you're faced with this huge question. Do you go all in on code, getting deep into Python scripts, or do you lean towards a more visual, UI-driven approach so you can prototype faster? Or maybe you need a mix of both. This one decision really sets the stage for your entire development process.
And you know, it gets even deeper than that. Are you accidentally locking yourself into one vendor's ecosystem? How are you going to plug in observability tools to see what's actually happening under the hood? What about connecting to your multi-cloud setup? These aren't just minor details. They're the kind of critical decisions that can grind your progress to a halt right when you need to be moving at lightning speed.
So with all these headaches on the table, a new type of tool is starting to pop up to slice right through that complexity. And this is exactly where Langflow comes into the picture, offering a really clear visual way forward.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, Langflow is an open-source visual studio for developers. It lets you build really complex AI workflows. I'm talking about things like autonomous agents that can use tools, or RAG pipelines that lets you chat with your own documents, all by just using a simple drag-and-drop interface. It's really the perfect sweet spot between low code speed and full code power.
And this slide right here, it just nails the core idea. A visual builder like Langflow takes what would normally be a tangled web of code for connecting AI components and turns it into this clean, logical diagram. You can literally see how the data flows. You can connect the pieces yourself, and you can understand the whole system at a glance without getting lost in boilerplate code.
You know, this whole visual approach leads right into one of Langflow's biggest superpowers, giving you total and complete freedom and flexibility to build with whatever tech stack you prefer.
So first off, it's completely model agnostic. Langflow supports dozens and dozens of model providers. You want to use one of the big commercial models from OpenAI or Anthropic? Go for it. Or, hey, maybe you'd rather run your own local models for privacy or to save on costs. You can do that too. The bottom line is you are never locked into a single vendor.
And that same idea applies to your data. Langflow is also completely vector store agnostic. What that means for you is that you can connect it to tons of different vector databases. You know, those specialized databases that are crucial for AI apps. You get to use the one that is the absolute best fit for your project's needs. No compromises.
Now here's the kicker, and this is so important. While it looks like a simple, visual, low-code tool on the surface, underneath it all, it's just Python. This means you truly get the best of both worlds. If you need to tweak an existing component or even build a brand new one from scratch, you have full access to the code. You're never, ever limited by the UI.
Okay, so that's the what and the why. But what does it actually look like to build something with Langflow? Come on, let's walk through how you'd create a simple agent right now. The whole experience is built around what's called a node-based system. You've got these boxes, right? Those are your components. And they have these little colored connection points, or nodes. Each color represents a different type of thing, like a text message, a document, or a tool, which makes it super intuitive to just see what can connect to what. Honestly, the process is incredibly straightforward. You just start by dragging and dropping the components you need onto the screen, like an input field, an agent, and an output. Then you just click and drag to connect the nodes and create your logical flow. You pick your model from a drop-down list, and that's pretty much it. You're ready to test. And that last step is absolutely key. Langflow has a built-in playground where you can start chatting with your agent immediately. You can test its logic, you can tweak its performance, and you can do all of this before you've written a single line of your actual application's code. This just massively speeds up your whole development and debugging cycle.
But hey, don't get the wrong idea. Langflow isn't just for building simple little agents. It is a professional-grade tool that's designed for building really sophisticated, production-ready systems. So let's look at how you can really power up your flows. So check this out. This slide highlights a really powerful concept called tool mode. See, you can take most components in Langflow and just flip them into a tool. So instead of a calculator component just being a fixed step in your flow, it becomes a capability that your agent can intelligently choose to use when it needs to. The agent literally auto-discovers what the tool is for and figures out when to use it to solve a problem. How cool is that?
And the power user features definitely don't stop there. Langflow has native support for multi-cloud platform tools. Every single flow you build automatically gets its own API endpoint, giving you complete programmatic control. And you can build incredibly complex logic that involves database access, conditional branching, and structured outputs, making sure your agent behaves exactly how your app needs it to.
And really, this brings us to the ultimate value here. Just imagine trying to explain a complex system with agents and database lookups and all this conditional logic to a non-coder on your team, or heck, even to another developer, without a visual aid like this. This visual map makes the whole system transparent and understandable for everyone, which is just essential for good collaboration and long-term maintenance.
So there you have it, a powerful, flexible, and deeply visual way to build the next generation of AI applications, letting you get from a cool idea to a working reality faster than ever before. The only question left is, now that you can see and shape any AI workflow you can possibly imagine, what will you build first?